Okay, guys. So at the beginning of this thing with the Ukraine war, and I had been called names. I had been locked out of private chat groups, saying that I was this one chick that ran it. Wherever you are out there, I know you're out there. It was an anti Meghan Markle Reddit thread, I think. Or you know what? I don't even know what it was. This was like maybe 2 years ago, or well, more than 2 years ago. And she said, "Goodbye, Putin," or "Hi, Putin," or something like that. And I'm like, Putin? Because at the top banner of this chat group, like the logo of it or whatever, was and specifically said in the rules not to discuss politics. But it had this picture of Zara um, with Zara Tyndall with you remember when she was at Megan's wedding and she was really pregnant and her eyes were literally popping out of her head because just of that stupid pastor that was preaching black liberation theology, which you guys still, I don't think, want to recognize, but that's what it was, which is a highly Marxist, radical, very much out of fashion. As I said, well, yesterday I did a video. I did not post it yet. Megan is stuck in the 90s. We can go there again, but she is. She is stuck in the 90s. So there's a picture of Zara and then um, uh, a Ukraine flag in the corner. And I said, what the hell is a Ukraine flag doing in the corner of mainly a British and slash, Australian, Commonwealth, Canadian, USA chat group? Ladies, mainly ladies chat group. And excuse me, I said, why is it that you say no politics can be discussed, but yet you have a huge Ukrainian flag on this thing? That's all I asked, because I know these people are touchier than hell because they think you're a troll or an infiltrator. And they locked me up. They said, bye, Putin. Well, once again, I've proven to be correct, as I'm going to show you a couple of different things. I think we can all see now at this point that this entire Ukraine shit, excuse my language, has been nothing more than a regime change, money laundering stunt. It put us in 4 years, well, more than 4 years, but 4 years of Bidenism, which was basically, let's go to war. Let's kill people. Let's go to war. Let's do regime change. If you look at Samantha Power, her Wikipedia page, it says that her strength is regime change. Even though she was born, working for Obama, working for Biden, even though she was born in Ireland. And that's one of the people who was leading this. I mean, let's lay the cards on the table. Biden was a corpse, and if you want my opinion, okay? So here we go. We're going to read this. And so this war, I mean, and then we look at, Joe Biden and his son, millions, hundreds of, okay, let's say billions of dollars being stolen to line their pockets and being laundered through this regime. And then there is the Victoria Nuland phone call, which you can find on BitChute or Rumble or something. I'm afraid to post it on YouTube because it's my belief that it was banned. Because we live in a free First Amendment country. All right. I just had a lengthy and productive phone call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. We discussed Ukraine, the Middle East, energy, artificial intelligence, the power of the dollar, and various other subjects. As opposed to, what BRICS is and that type of thing. I mean, that's one of the things Putin is excellent is in that he, strengthened his own money, his own the BRICS. He strengthened his own money resource because they were sanctioning him. Okay, let's continue here. I will read this and various other subjects. We both reflected on the great history of our nations and the fact that we fought so successfully together in World War II. Remembering that Russia lost tens of millions of people, and we, likewise, lost so many. We each talked about the strengths of our respective nations, the great benefit that we will someday have in working together. Oops, sorry about that. This was working for me here. Hang on a minute. I'm going to have to do it this way. Very closely, including visiting each other's nations. We have also agreed to have our respective teams start negotiations immediately. And we will begin by calling President Zelensky of Ukraine. You know what? Take that Y out. That's something new that they just started. Come on. Here's the deal. So he's got other people Trump writing these posts. You can tell because there are errors, spelling errors, like major ones. Like someone put out a post a couple days ago that had stolen as Stalin. I don't know if you guys, this chick from NYC Chica, and she started following me. And we were both laughing because that's something that I don't know. I'm sure it's European. I'm pretty sure it's German. I don't know. It's like a fruitcake pastry with like frosting or something. I just hate it because it's got like it's just always really grossed me out. And they bring it around Christmas, and so he had stolen STOLLEN, which is Stalin, which is this shit, because I just don't like it. My grandmother always had it around. My dad liked it for some reason. So this is not the way he spells his name. He actually doesn't even spell it like that at all. But I'm not even gonna. His name isn't Volodymyr, it's Vladimir, but he changed the spelling of his name to appear to be more Ukrainian than the Russian Jew that he is. All right. So what I'm saying is, this seems to be a pro-Ukraine person because Trump is weeding those people out right now. I'll tell you that right now. I'm right about that too. So let's continue on. I'm going to inform him of the conversation, something of which I will be doing right now. I have asked Secretary of State Marco Rubio, which doesn't give me a lot of hope, but that's okay. Director of the CIA, John Radcliffe, National Security Advisor, Michael Waltz, And whenever I say that, it means I'm not sure if I trust you, but that's okay. Well, let's read the post. And Ambassador and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, I don't think so. Anyway, to lead the negotiations, he should go there, but that's okay, which I feel strongly will be successful. Millions of people have died in a war that would not have happened if I were president. But if it did happen, so it must end. Got that, people? Got that? The Reddit group that blocked me? How's that? No more lives should be lost. I want to thank President Putin for his time and effort with respect to this call and for the release yesterday of Mark Fogel, a wonderful man that I personally greeted last night to the White House. I believe this effort will lead to a successful conclusion, hopefully soon. That, you know who that guy reminded me of? The second Trump shooter. That's another thing. Then you have that weird two-toned haired guy that tried to kill Trump on his golf course that was in that was fighting over in Ukraine. This should give you pause, ladies. You say you're conservative, you're not. Well, all right, whatever. Maybe you are, but hopefully you're seeing the light because I was right. All right, now let's continue on. Then we have Hegseth over there. And oops, not what I wanted. Okay, let's do this. And I hope the audio is okay here. So here we go.
Earpiece, Dr. Paul. And here, the bombshell dropped by our SecDef, Pete Hegseth, in the discussion of Ukraine policy.
The United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. Instead, any security guarantee must be backed by capable European and non-European troops. If these troops...
You know, I hate saying this to you guys in Europe. Well, first of all, in Great Britain, I don't know why you signed a 100-year commitment or whatever. I mean, I hope you get someone else in to reverse that because it's will not happen. I mean, it's just, no. I don't see it following through for 100 years. Okay. I do not see that happening. That's what I mean. Maybe for another year or something, but you'll eventually have to peter out of it because you're going to start to go broke yourselves. But I think Trump is sick of the EU and the way those leaders have treated him. I think that I know that he'd be very polite to Keir Starmer and wouldn't intentionally snub him, but they were working against Trump. He had people over here, Keir Starmer did, working against Trump. So too bad, so sad, because we're in a new movement. We're in a new era. We're not in the 90s Democratic Party anymore, because that's what it was. It was the Clinton bunch transferring to Obama and then going in the Supreme Court and doing all kinds of other shit. And then Trump comes in, and then they transferred over to Biden. And then we're just like, okay, we are fucking done with you. Excuse my language. Let's continue on. But this shit with Europe pressuring the US to send all kinds of money, arms, and there are US troops over there. I mean, this is just going to be hidden. But there are. I mean, I know there are. I've seen them on camera. All right, let's continue.
These troops are deployed as peacekeepers to Ukraine at any point. They should be deployed. Believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. Instead, any security guarantee must be backed by capable European and non-European troops. If these troops are deployed as peacekeepers to Ukraine at any point, they should be deployed as part of a non-NATO mission, and they should not be covered under Article 5. There also must be robust international oversight of the line of contact. To be clear, as part of any security guarantee, there will not be U.S. troops deployed to Ukraine.
Incredible. No NATO. If you want to send your troops in Europe to be peacekeepers, go for it. But you won't have any NATO protection. And number 3, no U.S. troops. That's
and
the
money
end
too.
and no money.
But
that's the end.
Yeah, this is great, and I think the events have created, somebody like Hegseth to where he could speak out and say this, and the Trumps and the Musk, because the people are sick and tired of it. But it's, I hope enough. But it's late. I want prevention.
Yeah,
so here it is.
True.
It's when I look at the Gaza, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But is the answer to repair it and give it to somebody, or make it something in charge?
Resort,
but no, I would say most of that I could agree with. But I'd want to emphasize, why did we ever do it?
In the first
because
place.
when you look at whether you look at the Middle East or
why did we ever do it? We had the Minsk Accords, and they thumbed their nose. They gave the middle finger to Putin. After the Soviet Union fell, okay, after communism ended and the Soviet Union was no more, and it's now the Russian Federation, Putin wanted to be a part of NATO, a part of Europe. He wanted to be seen as part of that group. He wanted to be neighbors and friends and trade partners, which there is trade going on. You just don't hear about it on Fox News if that's what you're watching, or whatever news it is. Which I haven't turned any of that shit on. I mean, I was having a Twitter fight with somebody. I think he reported me. I was locked out of my account for 12 hours. And I was trying to explain to him, I don't watch. And then he's like, well, where did you watch the election? I'm like, I streamed it. I streamed it. I was going back and forth from like Alex Jones, which Owen Schroyer was acting really weird, like almost like he was on something. I swear to God, some of these kids with that beard pointing out, it was literally like a beard that it's grown to such a point that it's starting to go upward, and pretty soon it's going to touch his nose, and that'll be, it almost looked like a horn growing out of the bottom of his chin. Like a curved, like an antler. And he was going crazy saying Trump was going to lose. And I'm like, what? And I'm running around on crutches in the pouring rain. I mean, cold, like 35-degree rain, which big, huge raindrops, which is the worst. You show up, you're wet. You're slipping all over the place with crutches and your shoes, and you're like, oh, I'm going to fall, Luckily, somebody helped me. But I will tell you, that person looked at my ballot and who I voted for. I will tell you that. I know they did. I saw them do it. They took it and they looked at it, and then I put it in the machine. It was, I'm telling you, that was... I didn't mind, and you know what? I didn't give a shit. Did not give a shit. And I think he was left-leaning. Didn't care. But we had a referendum. Also, this is off topic. Should you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote in the state of Wisconsin? I'm like, yeah, I mean, in other words, can we just have non-citizens vote here already? And then I just got a poll on my phone, like within just a few days ago, asking me the same thing over. And then I answered, no, I don't, and it was a trick question. It was actually such a trick question. They had to post it make a big, huge poster and try to explain it and put it on a bulletin board in the gym. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this is like the most confusing thing I ever read. So I said, you guys are going to have to read this over to me. And they did. And they said, well, we can't tell you what it means. I'm like, oh, I said, so I did not leave that polling place until I got an answer from someone, and even I pushed them, and then they said, well, I think it means no, you don't want illegals to vote. Yes, you want there to be a constitutional amendment indicating as such in the Wisconsin state constitution. So see how they did it as a trick question? But that's not good enough. The referendum doesn't matter. It passed quite largely here. People said, no, we don't want illegals voting in our state, right? And so now they're still pushing it, if you can believe it. And then I answered the question. It was it was on my phone. And then it said, hit next. So I hit the next button. And it said, just in case you didn't fully understand the questions, we reworded them for you to answer them a second time. So I said to myself, these people are mental. So then I answered them all a second time. And, you know, so what else do we have on the docket? Well, we have, let's see here. Well, Tulsi was confirmed. We have she was confirmed. I'm not sure how many hours ago this was. Several hours ago, I believe. Sometime today. 5 hours ago. 4 hours. Well, she knows what the hell's going on because she spent time in Congress and Nancy Pelosi bullied the fuck out of her and she resigned. I don't know how else to put it. That's what happened. And she was just like, fuck this. Excuse my language. I mean, I know there's more to it than what I'm saying. Okay. Tulsi Gabbard has the experience to keep our nation safe and secure. I totally agree with that, but she is going to root out the agencies that are dirty. And she is going to know everything and they are scared shitless. So they probably just kind of dragged this one out because, they had to get the shredders out, I'm assuming. Hide stuff, destroy computers. Oh, what else? Well, I mean, I think she's going to work her ass off, I'll tell you that. So I think we're going to head out. I think, yeah. Let me see what else. Yeah, this shit in Ukraine needs to stop immediately. Oh, then there's the Keith Kellogg thing. Okay, now this I discovered yesterday evening, I believe. I've got to pause it for 1 second. Oh, which one is this? Oh, let's see if we can pause. Oh, we're going to pause for 1 sec. So you have this Keith Kellogg guy that has been advising Trump on Ukraine. The problem is, I guess he was just there recently. We found a rat. And I was out on Twitter doing a bunch of stuff yesterday, reposting Garland Nixon's Rumble video where he laid this out incredibly well. The tears are delicious. America, Ukraine. I'm not. Well, Europe betrayed America by recognizing, as far as I'm concerned, by recognizing Joe Biden as president. But that's a whole nother issue. Every European leader should stop addressing America as a friend. That's fine by us. Fine by us. I say pull out of NATO. Good luck. America's out of Europe. So we're saying we love it. Thank you. Oh, wow. He's been going crazy. Hey, Doge, this organization is funded by the National Endowment for Democracy. It needs to be defunded. So that's not what I wanted to show you guys. Oh, yeah, we're done with these. We're done with this shit. So you can see the most powerful people in the world are on board. Okay, so, wow, this has just got up within the last hour or so. Oh, I love this. Hang on a minute. I want to follow this quickly. All right. Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, Daniel. Oh, Daniel in a hippie mode. I think we'll make that 34. How's that? She's being sworn in right there. Okay. Trump, he's so proud of this shit because he knows he's gonna fucking freak everybody out with this crap. That's her husband. Is that her husband? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it might be. I don't know. So here we go. Why is Keith Kellogg seemingly off Trump's Ukraine team? Oh, so Garland Nixon did this. Okay. And I spelled the name wrong yesterday too. Shit. I apologize. He had it spelled with one L, so I just followed suit. He is compromised. Keith Kellogg is compromised. This is from a rabidly pro-Ukraine NGO that his daughter runs. It's called the R.T. Weatherman Foundation. Now, if you go to, let's go over here, Garland, I know you guys probably aren't following this, so hopefully you are. If you go to Garland Nixon's Rumble channel, he has laid this out. Somebody got some splaining to do. Coordinated and sponsored travel of Keith. This was like getting not DE. Well, they were getting DEI money too because it was a DEI program for women to strengthen women and girls in Ukraine. But when they showed pictures of who was on the board of directors, Andrea Mitchell and other liberal newscasters. Okay. Well, coordinated and sponsored travel of General Keith Kellogg, Fox News contributor and former national security advisor to U.S. Vice President Pence, right there. No, we don't need a mole like that in the White House. To Ukraine, which led to testimony before the United States Senate and Armed Services Committee about the need to provide rapid lethal aid to Ukraine. Proud to serve President Trump as assistant to the president and special presidential envoy for Ukraine and Russia. He's gone. He's gone now. You know, and I think you guys are probably bored with this video by now, but all I can say is I told you so. All right. And we'll move on, but our country is going to be strong again. You ladies get off this train with wanting to take down someone that you think is a Soviet person that wants to march into Poland and take it. It's not World War II anymore, you guys. It's like you're stuck in the dang 90s. 80s for that matter. For that matter, 30s and 40s, maybe the early 1900s, for Pete's sake. I mean, you're stuck in, you're listening to too much BS on TV. Okay, I'm going to end before it starts getting totally boring. All right, talk to you guys soon. Love you. Thanks for your comments recently. I really appreciate them.